Hi, welcome to Hit or Glitch. Under the Hood, I'm Daniel.
I'm Scott.
I'm Alex.
I'm Tim.
This week on...
Yeah, we're just going to skip right into it. We're kind of tired.
All right. This one is asking what class and subclass would we put for Game of Thrones characters? That's a lot of characters. We should narrow it down a little bit.
4 to 6. I mean, Thundercats, we did
6.
So let's keep it to that.
And do we want to keep this to a specific season, like up to current?
Well, I mean, I've not seen. I think I've seen, like I said, I think I've seen 2 episodes with you, the first 2 of the first season. I read the books, but I haven't read the most recent book, and it's been like a decade since I've read them. So, my memory's gonna.
All right. Well, let's do the main ones. Like, do John, probably
Danny, Tyrion,
Arya.
John's. Let's see. Is there a bastard background?
You could make one.
That's another under the hood.
Yeah.
Look for it.
yeah, sorry if there's some background noise. There's some construction going on.
All right.
Anyway.
So I think fighter probably fits best.
For Jon Snow.
I mean, ranger probably as well. I mean, they call them rangers. Does he ever wear heavy armor?
Well, Ranger works for John because he has Ghost.
True.
Yeah.
I don't know if Fighter necessarily does because we never see him in chain or plate, I don't think.
Well, not all fighters wear chain or plate.
Yeah.
That's true. And
So
he's
You're
dexterous.
proficient with
I'm sure
all
he-
armor, so
Sure.
I mean,
Well, in the show, we see him with a coat of plates.
Yeah.
Which there's no analog in D&D, but
Maybe half plate. I don't know.
yeah, maybe that.
Anyways,
I do see him more as a ranger than a fighter, though, personally, from what I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
of the books.
And his favorite terrain would be up north. So
Tundra,
The North.
the North.
the north.
north. So every time you take a step north, you're now in your favorite terrain from
Bam!
where you were.
Haven't played
Same
side.
side
Damn
of the
it.
tree that moss grows.
Definitely is trained in athletics for sure. I mean, he climbed the
Well-
wall and didn't fall to his death.
Yeah.
So I mean, part of that's luck, but
Yeah.
and they did a lot of walking.
And then subclass Beastmaster, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. I don't see him really.
Well, in the book.
in the,
In the show, there's less of an argument for that.
the wolf's just there.
Well, the wolf is not there. That's the problem.
It's expensive to put the wolf
Yes. All the dragons are eating all the money, as dragons are wont to do.
there.
You gotta build your horde somehow.
Yeah. Steal it from all the wolves. All right. Arya. So we were talking about this earlier. We have a couple of
Yeah.
different ideas.
Yeah,
I mean,
Arya's an argument because
She could be a
I
rogue.
think
be an
she's a
assassin.
warlock. I just, from what I remember and what I know of what happens in the show, I would argue that she is a hexblade warlock who has the Mask of 1,000 Faces invocation, giving her disguise self at will.
Yeah.
Gives
Yeah.
her light, medium armor, simple and martial weapons. She hexes the person she's going after, targets them, and can disguise herself.
what book is the Hexblade from?
The Hexblade is a subclass in Xanathars.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think that fits what she does best.
yeah,
She may have a dip into rogue,
Mm-hmm.
but she is at her core a Hexblade
Well,
warlock.
or she's dipped warlock.
And then just
She could've started
2-level Hexblade dip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would she be a swashbuckler then?
Assassin. Ooh, shit.
Mm.
Oh man. See, this is why Arya is so fucking hard.
I mean,
I was
Because she
thinking
trained first as a water dancer,
right.
which is essentially a swashbuckler.
It is.
exactly. That's why I was thinking swashbuckler.
And like the assassin is all about
And actually, she does do better on her sneak attacks when they're alone, when the person's alone, not when she has an ally. So there's an even stronger argument for swashbuckler.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's not bad.
Maisie Williams, what are you in D&D?
And I don't think she ever does the whole assassin. I attack before I get a critical.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I haven't caught up with
Yeah,
the
she
show.
does.
Yeah, she does.
Arguably, she does. But you could just as easily argue.
anytime she
You could
hits.
just as easily argue that she surprised attacked them, therefore she has advantage, and she always rolls 20s, like Callus.
Therefore, I rolled a natural 20.
Because she surprises the one guy with the hound's knife right after he takes her.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Where'd you get that knife?" She's like, "From you." He's like, "Tell me if you're going to do that again." And then she surprises Mare Trent similarly,
Mm-hmm.
although using her invocation to get close to him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think Arya is probably at least level 5.
Mm-hmm.
If not, arguably you could say, okay, so let's say each character is gaining at least a level per season.
Okay.
That's fair.
Okay.
So
What
she would
season are they
be,
at?
they just finished 7, they're going into 8.
So they're at level 8? Because
7.
you're level 1 at first season, level 2 at second.
I'm thinking at the end, because Arya
Doesn't really do anything.
barely has
So
a
they-
background at that point.
So their background's in season 1, and in season 2 they're level 1.
Yep.
Okay.
So they're lagging one behind.
Yeah.
All right. That seems fair enough. Let's see what else we got.
Let's go Tyrion. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Tyrion Lannister.
Tyrion, at
Is
first,
he a dwarf or a halfling?
dwarf. Well, yeah, no dwarf.
Which type?
Kill.
I could see him being a stout halfling.
I could see him being a stout halfling too, and that's why.
Duragar.
No, okay, stout halfling. So he has lucky.
He has lucky. He's got the resistance to poison and advantage on poison saves.
Yep, because he drinks and he knows things.
Mm.
Which is also why I think he's.
Nice.
Which is also why I think he's a lore bard.
Yeah.
Knowledgeable.
Half of this statement is true.
You drink.
Or I know things.
One of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the College of Lord.
Yeah.
Because he definitely, he spends a lot of time reading and...
Yeah.
He is definitely a lore bard.
Well, that one was easier.
And it's the sound of his voice just seems to, cause people to do things.
Yeah.
I do think
He
he's
gives
either
inspiration.
dipped into fighter for Battle Master or taken the feat that gives him a couple of things. 'Cause
Probably the feed.
he has done commanding, at least in the books.
Yeah.
He's definitely gone into war on horseback, leading troops and.
Except
commanding.
I would argue that what he does in the books
Is
and the TV
untrained.
show isn't untrained. No, he knows what he's doing, but it's more of a history check
Okay.
than.
Inspiring leader, maybe then.
Yes, he definitely has that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He definitely has inspiring leader feat. But, and I would say Tyrion first season is probably a 3rd level lower bard.
Okay.
Because he's not just a little kid at the beginning of it. He's done some things.
Yeah.
He's seen
Yeah.
some shit.
Had his first spouse killed.
Well, that and he has a lot of the. I mean, you could argue higher than level 3, but I'm just putting it at a minimum. And then, of course, a level every season would make him 10th level by the end of season 7.
And that makes sense because he's definitely acting like a lure bard from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And level 3 is when you get that subclass. So
yeah. I don't know. Well, okay. So I have a dwarf and magic cocks joke that I kind of want to say, but
we've said from the get-go.
Here's
that
the
this
thing,
doesn't matter.
like, because he makes that joke to Jorah, and then they get captured by the slavers, and they're going to kill Tyrion and sell his cock to a cock merchant because it's magic. So
that should be a magic item.
that's the source of the lucky racial trait.
So if they get cut off, he loses his luck.
And whoever has it gains the lucky trait from the halflings.
Oh, that's so bad. Sounds like you could exploit that in the game.
For sure.
Although they probably end up being like cursed magic items. It works the first time, and from then on, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
You have to reroll 20s. That would be...
Make it like a wand of smiles.
Yes.
Wand of scowls kind of a thing.
Yeah, where you have to
charge.
You reroll once, but if you roll a second one, it flips, and then you have to reroll 20. So if you roll a second 20, it flips.
That'd be
So it goes
interesting.
back and forth. That might be a little rare for the switching, but
Yeah.
So Danny, she's a tough one.
She doesn't tend to really fight all that much.
She doesn't fight that much, and as a lot of people complain, she doesn't do a lot.
she does a lot. It's just more political and behind the scenes and manipulative than I bash you with my hammer raw.
Stab you in the back.
So we
Athletically dodge over every attack you send my way, and then.
So she's probably a charisma-based character, which limits us to sorcerer, warlock, and bard.
She's a dragon-blooded sorcerer.
Dragon-blooded sorcerer.
Which
Does she
maybe, and then goes into bard.
Okay, I can see that.
yeah,
because
I mean she's dragon blooded before she really gets
she could
into
get
being
resistance
political.
to fire damage. So.
Yep.
There you go.
that,
I see what you're getting at there.
that seals it right there. She is mother of dragons. So, yeah, it's sort of right there in her title.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Dragon blooded sorcerer.
No, we don't see her use a lot of magic beyond waking the dragons and being able to control them. So maybe she just takes control monster, those kinds of spells.
Yeah, she probably just takes spells. Well, she's probably got some that we don't necessarily see her casting, but like
and as a sorcerer,
person,
she can be spending sorcery points to do it all subtly.
Yeah,
to ignore the component costs.
Component of verbal and somatic.
Was that dragon fire, or did she just cast Eldritch Blast and use subtle magic to make it look like dragon fire?
Did she really just tip over those cauldrons of fire when she killed all the?
Or was it Bigby's hand?
Or was it burning hands?
Burning hands. She's just good about disguising her spells.
Yeah.
That's something else.
Yeah. So high sleight of hand.
Yes.
Perhaps the prodigy feat to give her the expertise.
Oh no! If she goes bard, she gets expertise.
That's
Eventually,
true. She gets
expertise in
Fourth
sleight.
level, I think.
Yeah.
It's one of those weird ones.
I think she gets expertise in second level with bard.
With bard, no, that's rogue.
Rogue gets it at first level.
I think the first expertise for bard is second level, and then sixth level, I think.
I'll check it. Expertise at third level.
Third.
Close enough.
Split the difference.
difference.
I was one under, he was one over.
Okay.
Jamie's definitely a fighter.
Is
Or
he?
is he a
I would argue Oathbreaker Paladin.
He doesn't raise the dead.
Yeah. I
He's
think
definitely got that strict code that paladins have and fighters don't tend to.
Really.
Yeah, he does.
But he does.
It's not necessarily a good code, but he's got a code. And he shows that especially in scenes like with Brienne.
Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely has his own sense of right and wrong, but he definitely follows
You don't have to
a
be
code.
have to be a paladin to do that. But yeah, I see
No,
it.
but
Yeah,
it's one of the defining things of a paladin.
it's true.
Could be
Okay,
the,
if he's a paladin, he has to be Oath of the Crown.
yeah,
Oath of the Crown.
Yeah, that's
out of
fair.
Sword Coast.
I don't know that one. I don't play too many paladins.
Because that's really the only oath he's ever taken and kept.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Sort of. He killed the first king he served.
And wants to kill the second one. Let the third one die.
Yeah.
The
He's not a very successful.
the second king was kind of screwing his girlfriend, so
Yeah.
I mean the
Sister.
king was married to his
Cool.
sister, which was his girlfriend, but spoiler alert.
If you haven't figured it out by now, you aren't watching the show. And
But
you
I-
don't care.
Or read the books.
But I almost prefer Jamie as a champion fighter.
I was kind of thinking that too.
Because he wouldn't, like, if he had been like a paladin, the loss of his hand wouldn't have set him back so much. As he says, that hand was everything. I was that hand. And that to me points more toward a champion fighter.
Okay. I
Why?
can see.
Because a fighter, everything is their instrument. That is,
What defines them
this is what they use
to
to
do?
carve their mark upon the world.
Mm-hmm.
A paladin doesn't necessarily rely only on this.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I put him as a champion because he was a champion.
Fair enough.
It's right there,
I mean, the only other subclass that I might for fighter that I might argue would be cavalier. And again, because he was a jousting champion and a bodyguard.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
actually kind of fits more.
It could go either way.
And again, I would put him probably at 3rd level first season, so 10th level.
Oh yeah,
So-
any of them in that.
But
that
with the
were
loss
in,
of his
that were in the
adults.
first war.
Yeah.
With the loss of his hand, wouldn't he go back a couple levels maybe?
No, I think he probably takes on.
Maybe a crippling injury, and he takes a -2 to attacks until he can.
Well, it wouldn't take him back levels, but it might give him a hindrance of some kind. Like
Yeah.
that.
Like a -2 or something.
Well,
Or
he
disadvantage.
would always be fighting with his offhand.
So he
So-
wouldn't get
oh,
a
yeah.
strength
Does it-
modifier
Doesn't get his strength modifier.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's brutal.
until he, takes that ability.
Yeah. Now the thing is like, and I don't even think in the books they go into detail of how Jamie is training, but realistically, what's going to happen is
You mean
he's going to
after he
strap a
uses
shield to that arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes into it in the books.
Does it?
Yeah, at first he has
Like
a
I know
shield.
he's training with Ill and Pain, but I don't remember specifically what they're training.
Because
for.
Ellen Payne is mute.
Yeah,
And they couldn't do that for the show.
but no,
'cause the guy
they
had
go
cancer.
into there's a whole chapter that talks about
I thought I almost remembered
'cause he
like
would-
reading that, but I
he
don't.
would wake him up. Yeah, no, that's definitely in the
Yeah.
books.
Okay.
Uh,
But yeah, in the show they don't. But the show is horrible about giving people shields and helmets.
well, if you put a full helmet on them, how are you going to know who it is that you're watching?
The plumage.
Okay,
Because
do
that's
you
how
really
it was
think
done.
most viewers are that? I'm sorry, I'm not going to. You guys are the exception.
Beautiful plumage.
I guess they could light the armor up with neon like Black Panther.
One has a silver chain, one has a gold chain.
Yeah.
There you go. Tell them party instantly.
Okay, so we've done Arya, Jon, Daenerys,
Tyrion and
Jaime.
We need to do anybody else?
You know,
So.
let's hit one more. And he's not mentioned much in the books. I don't know how much of a role he has in this show. But the parts that they do, I thought he was a really interesting character, and that's Bran.
Yeah, I was about to say, Bran.
Druid.
Now, Bran's background is definitely one that is gives training in athletics because he's always climbing the walls as a kid.
Yep. Arguably soldier.
Arguably, because he is at the beginning training with weapons.
He's the third son.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be inheriting, so noble you can take out. He was training to be a knight.
Yep.
And serve as a soldier. So yeah,
It just didn't fit his attributes. I would say.
Yeah.
Well, he was 9.
Yeah, I know. But like Arya was
But
better
not
than
Druid.
him at stuff.
Not Druid. Why not Druid?
Because he doesn't do anything with the land, for one. But 2, he has to be a divination wizard because of the green scene.
Yeah, I was going to say wizard with the wolf being a familiar. Some kind of improved familiar.
Yep.
And times where he goes into it being the shared senses.
Or he's a divination warlock, ancient one. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So that he can get back to the chain.
Yeah.
And that gives him his improved familiar.
Yeah.
That probably works more.
So 2 of the Starks are warlocks.
Essentially.
Fascinating.
That's
If
certainly one way
anybody
to go.
actually does a campaign where you're playing these character build-ups we're making, leave a message down below. We want to know.
Yeah.
How does it work? Does it feel like those characters?
Yeah. And if you have any other questions, comment down below. We'll put them in Atoma Topics, and we'll cover them in the future.
Yep. See you.